What's going on, guys? Welcome to the next chapter of A Game of Thrones, the reading vlog for this reading the entire series of Game of Thrones, or as the book nerds would like to say, the Song of Ice and Fire. I won't call it that until George finishes the series. He'll get my respect once he finishes his novel series, okay? He built it up. Now he's gotta at least finish it, not just finish it in strides, but he's got to finish it, okay? I'm kidding, of course, I'm kidding. No harshness toward George. Just, come on, George. I want to read The Winds of Winter. Come on out. But anyway, here it is. My favorite character in the show, at least up until episode 7 of Game of Thrones, the TV show, at least. Daenerys, chapter 3, Daenerys 1. I gotta say, it's not because she's hot or whatever in the show and all that, but I don't know why. Maybe it's because the story is so simple, at least in the first season, where a rags to riches type of story and all that, where you know, this girl's kind of being prodded off to this large brute and kind of becoming the queen and all that type of thing. And she's also, you know, somewhat nice, surprisingly, in all this turmoil of really, really gray or grayer, light gray people. She seems the least amount of gray in this entire series, and the only reason why is because her brother is like the most dark in this entire show / book so far. But enough about the show, let's talk about the book. So we get this whole interaction that's kind of setting up Daenerys and her brother. I'm probably going to mess up on this pronunciation, but Viserys. I'm going to call him Viserys, even though that's completely not what his name is. But Viserys, I guess. Viserys? I don't know. Comment below and tell me how to pronounce his name. Anyway, the interaction between Daenerys and her brother kind of being an ass and kind of saying, hey, this is how I'm going to be king. You're going to do this. Shut up. And we get like some backstory behind Daenerys and kind of her family and all that. Sort of interesting. Like we kind of know through this one chapter alone that these two siblings were part of a family that was super rich, but now is super poor. And now they gotta get back to where they need to be. I don't know exactly what's going on, but they kind of allude to that, which is interesting, and it's where George kind of plants the seeds, even though in retrospect, if you read certain things that he's said in interviews, he didn't even know what the hell was going on and what he was planting, what seeds he was planting, but because he's a gardener writer or whatever. Anyway, we see a few things about Daenerys's and the house Targaryen. Not Targaryen, what am I talking about? No, wait, it is Targaryen. Yeah, Targaryen. I don't even know why I had that brain fart there. But House Targaryen, how they became, you know, the biggest thing, and now they're not. Now they gotta get back their family name and all that type of stuff by marrying this guy to inherit his army so they can take back the 7 kingdoms, I guess, or something like that, you know? So Viserys can be king again because these, like, I guess 10 years ago or something like that, the Mad King and all that, which may be how I think I've meshed what I know about the series and kind of alluded to what it is in the book, because I'm kind of watching the show and watching and reading this book simultaneously, sort of. Even though, you know, again, so far, the first 3 chapters are like the first 5 minutes of the first episode of Game of Thrones, which is kind of interesting to say the least. You know, you'd think there would be more than that, but yeah, it's kind of going pretty fast. Also, and this is something I kind of have to keep in mind here, where in the show they aged up the characters. In this book, Daenerys is like 13, which kind of is a little icky nowadays, just with her brother kind of touching her in not so nice ways. I don't know, kind of makes him a little bit more evil and mean and all that. And I guess, you know, George has said that, you know, this whole Game of Thrones thing is like he takes from history and stuff like that and like whatever. But yeah, at the same time, yeah, it's gross. I wouldn't put that in my story, George. Something that's also being kind of brought to life is like his whole wiener fetish or something, you know, in the South Park meme and all that. I don't really think that that's quite accurate. I think that's just South Park being South Park, which is, you know, good, but I don't quite know what George is. It's troubling to say the least. I gotta say, it's troubling to see a brother kind of, you know, doing this to his 13-year-old sister and kind of, you know, basically selling her off to become king and all that, which, yeah, he is evil. Yeah, he's basically as dark of a gray character as you can possibly get in these books. I get it, and I hate him. So I guess George did something well, whatever, but I don't know. I don't know about that. But anyway, yeah, this chapter details a lot more about Daenerys' life and all that, and how she grew up and stuff like that, which I was all for. I'm all down. She got me interested in her backstory and all that. I'm ready to see where this story goes, and I know that there's a lot of just grossness that's gonna happen soon, but, you know, probably skip over those particular things here. And we got our first, cuss word in here in this book. We get the F word. I was kind of thinking, wait a minute, this is Game of Thrones. Where's all the cussing and swearing and blooding and all that? And we got our first cuss word, the F word, at the end of this chapter. And I was like, okay, we're in Game of Thrones now. It felt naked for a second. The book felt naked for a second, but we're back. We have an F word. There's, little creepiness and grossness or whatever. Yep, it's Game of Thrones. Even though this is my favorite character so far, there was a lot of grossness in this chapter. So yeah, can't wait until she just wrecks hell upon them and, just takes over as the queen, the dragon queen and all that. I know it's coming. I haven't seen the rest of the show. I haven't read any more of the book, but I know it's coming. And I mean, because, season 8, if you will. But yeah, anyway, though, guys, that's it for this vlog about the 3rd chapter, Daenerys 1. What you guys think about this chapter? Does it rock? Does it suck? Does it make you uncomfortable? Because it sure made me uncomfortable. What do you guys have to say about it? Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell. More vids coming your way, and hey, take care, guys.